welcome to those watching us from the Sunshine State, where more than 3 million residents are without power after what they've been calling a once-in-a-thousand-year event. Unfortunately, I have a feeling it's going to be happening more than once every 1,000 years. You can see the city of St. Petersburg got 18 inches of rain. They're flooding. The water levels are bigly. Look at this. Is in Tampa. They had 100-mile gusts of wind. It blew the roof off the stadium where the Rays play. And, of course, before the storm even hit, the Trumpers were blaming the White House for all this, which is interesting because 2 weeks ago, 11 House Republicans from Florida voted against keeping the government and FEMA fully funded. Then when Hurricane Helene came to visit, they all signed a letter asking President Biden for federal funding. This is how it goes now. And then we have the lies that Trump and his crack team of wingnuts have been spreading. I don't know if you heard this, but Marjorie Taylor Greene is pushing this bonkers idea that Democrats can somehow control the weather. And they're targeting Republican voting districts. And not only are people believing this, meteorologists are getting death threats and angry phone calls and emails from viewers who think they're covering it up. For real, this is really happening. Donald Trump has pushed us to the point where we can't even agree on the weather. What a stupid time to be alive. But has anyone thought about unplugging America and plugging it back in again? Because we could use a reboot. These poor local weather people, haven't they been through enough? They get up at the crack of dawn to help us figure out what jacket to wear. We reward them by sharing screen grabs and where they're standing next to a storm pattern that looks like a boner. And now this. It's so mind-bogglingly crazy. You know, there are these guys, they're on TikTok and Instagram. They're called the Good Liars. They're funny guys. They go around to Trump rallies to interview the people there. They were in Reading, Pennsylvania. They met a woman who actually believes they are controlling the weather.
What do you think happened with the hurricanes?
I think there was an upcoming storm, and then I think government set in with whatever it is that they do. I don't know all the specifics about it. I'm not an expert in cloud seeding or whatever it is that they use to magnify the storm to a higher degree to disturb a land that may be wanted for lithium that Harris's husband is partaking in.
I don't know. I think maybe she should be partaking in lithium because Donald Trump should be forced to live on an island with all these people. Listen, dummies, the government can't control the weather. The only person who can control the weather is Beyonce, okay? That's it, right, Guillermo?
That's right,
Thank
Jimmy,
you.
yes.
We are now 25 days until the election. Early voting is underway in a dozen states. I've been hearing a lot from Kamala Harris lately. We've reached the point of the campaign where her emails are making me feel like I'm going through a breakup. I get, good morning, checking in. Coffee? It stinks big time. Please read, don't delete. You deserve an explanation. The explanation I want is how this election could possibly be so close. The polls say it is a toss-up. It might ultimately come down to which candidate can deliver a new RV to Clarence Thomas first. The most important battleground state is Pennsylvania. President Obama headlined a rally in Pittsburgh tonight. Yesterday, Trump was in Reading, Pennsylvania, where Nurse Fatchett is going all in on these bogus stories about forced gender swaps.
Your child goes to school, and they take your child. It was a he, and comes back a she. And they do this. And they do it. And often without parental consent. Can you even believe we're saying this?
No, we can't believe that even you are saying this. Because it isn't actually happening. No school has ever changed a boy into a girl. We're supposed to believe the same schools that make you sign a permission slip for your kids to go to the planetarium are taking them for sex change operations. This is not a thing. This is not a problem. We have real problems. Like the fact that the Republican nominee for president is letting gas on stage.
From commerce to labor to FEMA.
Did you hear that? Listen closely. Play it. Listen right in the middle.
From commerce to labor to FEMA.
That's our founding farter right there. That's our Mayor McCut the Cheese. And by the way, that wasn't even the most surprising thing that came out of old Gasolini today.
Your car industry is going out of business. It's going out of business. Nothing to do with me. You want to know the truth? It'll be like Detroit. Our whole country will end up being like Detroit if she's your president.
Okay, do you notice who he's speaking to right now? The Detroit Economic Club. He's in Detroit. You guys are living in a real dump. I wouldn't want to do business here. PU, vote for me. Kamala Harris has been getting out there doing a lot of interviews. Trump criticized her for not doing interviews. Now that she's doing them, he's mad that she is, and he's mad at the media. He's been lashing out at 60 Minutes. He says CBS should have their license revoked for reasons even he hasn't come up with yet, but they should be revoked. He's mad at Howard Stern, and he's mad at Whoopi Goldberg, who once headlined the showroom at the casino he ran into the ground.
No, I've hired Whoopi to work for me as a comedian before this stuff, and a long time ago. And I went, and, you know, I'm not particularly shy about what I hear. Her mouth was so foul, every word out of her mouth was like the F word, that this. I was with a group of people, like sort of nice people, and we had to leave. She was so filthy dirty, disgusting, half the place left.
Yeah, just like one of your rallies, you know? It's half the place left. Listen. He was probably waiting outside Whoopi's dressing room to tell her how great she was after the show. But the language thing, that I understand, because say what you want about Donald Trump, this is a man who does not tolerate profanity or inappropriate language of any kind.
We have nobody in Washington that sits back and said, you're not going to raise that price. You understand me? In the meantime, we can't get a school built in Brooklyn. There's people screaming at him, don't say that, you stupid son of a bitch. The ocean will rise 0.01% over the next 300 years. Every place she's touched has turned to She's a bitch.
She looks like a third grade, okay.
People understand it's bull. It's bull. The wind is bull. I think it's all bull. I got indicted more than him on bull, too. You shouldn't use that kind of language. Look. You can't use the word okay.
That's right. The guy with the porn star in his room was offended by the language. Scam Kinnison has a few interesting tour dates on the calendar. Instead of the expected stops in swing states, Trump is holding rallies in solidly blue states like California, Colorado, Illinois, and New York, places where he's losing by a margin wider than his pants, which seems like it doesn't seem like a great strategy. You know, our electoral college system means there are only about 6 states that matter, and the polls are showing very tight races in all of those states. So why is Trump campaigning in California and New York, states he has about as much chance of winning as he has of winning a BET award, instead of the swing states? I have a theory, and you have to bear with me on this. Have you heard the story of King Midas? You know this story, Guillermo? The guy who everything he touches turns into gold?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Never heard. Okay. But anyway, so King Midas, you know, he thinks his power is going to be great, turning everything he touches turns to gold. But then he can't, you know, he can't smell flowers, he can't eat food, he can't have a drink, and so on. That is Donald Trump. He believes he can turn anything into gold. In his Aquanet muddled brain, he turns little crowds into big crowds into huge crowds. He wins every tournament at his golf club. He could stop any war. He's the smartest and the greatest and the richest. And he became president of the United States, which is not something even he imagined would ever happen. But he's got this power. The magic narcissist reached the top of Mount Kilimanjaro. And now that he's up there alone, he can't break the spell. It's too strong. He can't admit what he really is, which is a sad elderly con man farting on stage. It would kill him. So now he's sabotaging himself. He's saying immigrants eat dogs. He'll be a dictator on day one. He's selling God Bless the USA Bibles made in China. And he's campaigning in states he has no hope of winning. Instead of the states, does he believe he can turn those states into gold? Maybe, but I think it's more likely that deep down, he knows the only way to reverse this curse is to lose the election. So let's help this poor man do that. Let us all help our golden king break the spell and go on with his magnificent life.
I'm putting everything on the line to fight for you. I didn't have to be here. I could be in a beautiful beach. I could be in a gorgeous beach somewhere in the world. The sun beaming down on this beautiful body in a bathing suit. The sun would be beaming down. The waves would be crashing into my face.
That's right. Let the waves crash into that copper-toned, bronzing, cream-covered face and make a big slick all over the sea. Mr. Made in the USA, by the way, is out there. He's promising tariffs on China. He's screaming, buy American, even though, as I mentioned, his USA Bibles were manufactured in China. You know, years ago, I went through his Trump brand products and found that the vast majority of them are made overseas, which had to be embarrassing for him, right? Nope, not at all. We sent somebody to his golf course. He has a golf course in Palos Verdes, not far from here, and also to Trump Tower in New York, where many of the items for sale, the Trump items, are made in, guess where? That's right, China. This pink knit scarf, this beautiful item, made in China. These Trump flasks, this shot glass, this very patriotic water bottle, this Trump, the American flag hat, made in China, this Trump military jacket, all made in China. Unbelievable. And there's plenty of stuff on his website. Also, there's a $550 MAGA bling clutch and one with his name on it. Very classy. There are Trump earrings. Bar earrings are all the rage. The Trump camouflage oven mitt. The Trump football flask. The Trump pool float, not intended for use as a flotation device. And the Trump needlepoint flag belt. Made in the USA? No, sirree, it is not. It's beyond shameless. Now, this product is not an official. He does not, as far as I know, make any money from this. But this is an original piece of art. It's called Trumpy Trout. It's kind of like, you remember the Billy Bass? They came up with the Trumpy Trout. This is actually for sale. And if you...
I'm the biggest Trump in the pod, and there's no bigger Trump than me, and probably never will be. Let's make fishing great again.
All right, it's like, yeah. Hold on, I'm going to turn it off. Obviously, it's an heirloom quality product, and it can be yours for the low, low price of $59.99.
He's here, America's favorite fish.
No one has ever seen a fish like me.
Trumpy Trout is an animatronic talking fish with a big personality.
I'm building a new pond, and the bass will pay for it.
Watch his fins flap and his large round mouth move in and out.
They're eating the dog fish. They're eating the catfish.
Mount him to your wall. Use the built-in stand to display him proudly on your desk. Or just keep him under your bed. Trumpy Trout can be your little secret.
Trumpy Trout will make everything better.
Everyone gets lonely, especially red-blooded, God-fearing alpha male patriots like you.
I want to drain your swamp and take you to the deep state.
Trumpy Trout understands. His flaxen blonde hair and soft, supple lips will make everything better.
Trumpy Trout will make you feel so good.
Trumpy Trout features a 200-watt industrial motor that provides powerful suction, making him the most popular fish in the lake.
Trumpy Trout is the greatest fish I've ever caught.
Bing, bing, bong, bong, bing, bing, bing.
Five stars. He's a rascal.
Don't miss your chance to hook Trumpy Trout.
When you're a trout, they let you do it.
Order today and get a JD Vance couch pouch absolutely free.
I'm a friendly couch named JD Vance. Have a seat and unzip your pants.
Available at Bass Pro Shops.